Did you know that the traditional education system we rely on was actually designed over 100 years ago and hasn't kept up with today's world? In this video, I'm going to uncover 6 truths why schools are failing our kids and what you as a parent can do about it. Welcome, lovely one. My name is Manuela from Schools of Change. One of the main reasons is the regular schools have an outdated curriculum for a modern world. They focus on outdated knowledge. They focus also heavily on rote memorization and standardized testing, which is boring. Children aren't learning critical 21st century skills like emotional intelligence, like special communication skills or self regulation. Main reason and truth number 2, they have a one size fits all teaching method. They expect every child to learn the same way at the same pace, which can make feel kids really, really frustrated, unmotivated, or disengaged. This approach causes problems for advanced learners who get very bored and distracting the teachers and other students, or um, uh, it causes problems to struggling learners because they get left behind and also very frustrated. Main reason number 3 is the lack of emotional and mental support. The schools often neglect emotional intelligence and they leave kids unprepared to handle stress and also relationship. One of the main topics in the schools where I was working and I'm still working is relationship issues. They don't know how to handle it. Then the traditional schools focus solely on academics and left brain activities, and they neglect mostly mental health and emotional well-being. And actually, I'm asking why? It doesn't make sense. It's damaging and the children and also all the people who are working there. Then kids face immense pressure from grades and tests, leading to stress, low self esteem, and low self worth issues, anxiety, depression, and burnout, and also physical symptoms. I read about a study last week that in Europe, actually, every 10th child that means between 4 and 15 years old is having depressions. And isn't that scary? We shall and should do something about it. And main reason number 4 and truth number 4. Teachers are overburdened and under-resourced. Did you think that teachers, they have so many holidays and they have really an easy job? Oh my God, many people are thinking like that. But when I started to work in schools, it was 2009. I could see, oh my God, they have a lot of stress, you know. It's unbelievable, you know. I'm a coach and a social worker and also a natural healing therapist, and I could see the teachers and I still can see them running around from one teaching class to the other and then to a meeting, teaching, again a meeting, talk with parents, talk with school principals, da 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 da. You know, it's really too much. They are overburdened. Also, another issue is they have limited resources or no resources or too less of them at all. And the rigid curriculums actually, what I also can see is limiting their creativity and also possibilities being a teacher, working with students. And there are often overcrowded classrooms, and that means that your child doesn't get the needed attention or actually lower quality learning. Then, reason number 5, the traditional schools are not preparing for future jobs, or in the other way around, they are preparing for a job market that no longer exists. Hmm. So, the future job market, and that's what we already know, values adaptability, innovation, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, um, a lot of creativity, and a lifelong learning, qualities that traditional schools don't emphasize, actually. Number 6, problems with exclusion and bullying. The huge competition in schools, because of grades, leads often to regular fights and excluding other children and also bullying. This is actually a trauma and traumatizing children. It's damaging self-worth, self-esteem, the class team spirit, and social cohesion in general. I was bullied in the fourth class. That means when I was 10, a 10-year-old girl. And it was a heavy, heavy trauma experience for me. I was suffering from it for decades, actually. So it's also a reason why I want to help to change the education system. And I'm working in this field since actually altogether since 28 years, and in the last 5 years also in my own mentoring with families, especially for sensitive children and their parents. And I could help them to end fights, to end bullying, to end destructive behavior at home, in schools, and to gain their love back to each other, and also gain back their self esteem and self worth, and start to believe in themselves and create a happy life. There are so many things that we are not learning in school. This is actually reason number 7. I didn't write it. But yeah, there are so many reasons, actually more than 6, but those were the main ones. But I don't want to leave you disencouraged. I want to help you. I want to support you. And that's why I put together 7 ideas that really, really, really can help you and your family to go through the school period, because what I hear, it's a very stressful time for the parents and their children. So my practical advice are these 8 ideas. And by ideas, I mean try it out. Try what you can make out of it, and be open, be curious, and don't push them back like, oh no, I tried. Like, no, be open. Try to have a beginner's mindset and have fun with it. Okay. So number 1 is wake up and relax. Mm. Oh my God, what do I mean? So waking up is really, 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 really a point, because many parents, they didn't reflect on that school system. They're like, oh, okay, it's a school, it's very important. They put a lot of pressure on their kids, that they're gonna have the best grades. And regularly, I have children in my sessions who are telling me, oh my God, Manuela, I'm so afraid that I'm gonna get a bad grade. And when I ask them why, they say, "Oh, because I'm afraid that my parents will be so disappointed with me." Last week, a girl told me, 11 years old, "Oh my God, I'm gonna afraid that my father won't trust me again if I don't get a better grade next time." And this is really damaging their life and also your relationship with your children. So please relax. The main thing is really to be a good buddy for your children, and to be also very honest, is the main goal is to help your kids to just get through the regular system. Okay, that's really it. The best grades are not necessary and not important. Yeah. So please don't put this pressure on yourself and on your kids, and relax more, because when you're relaxed, they can feel it. And this is this would be another video, but I'm going to tell this shortly now. When you start to relax more about school, your children will too. Okay. Number two, don't compare siblings. This is putting them down and sometimes even destroying a lifelong relationship with each other. This is really hard. For example, my sister is still angry with me because I was the oldest one in my family, and our parents always pushed me to have the best grades. And the reason was like, for them, then you can show your brother and your sister that it's good to be motivated, it's good to be good in school, and they will do it too. And for me, it was a lot of stress. I had the feeling, oh my God, I couldn't be myself. And for my sister, she had a lot of stress, and my brother too, because they always felt like behind and always like not good enough. So please don't do that. Idea number three, empower instead compensate. What do I mean by that? Well, I see many parents, like, of course, for a good reason, they want to support their children. Maybe their parents in their childhood couldn't afford that they could do a special sport hobby, or they couldn't afford that they play an instrument or learn another language or something else. And nowadays the children, they're having 10 hobbies or 5 hobbies, and each day of the week it's just fully booked, and the parents are stressed because they're driving the kids from one point to the other, and the kids don't have time to calm down and to be with themselves and feel their feelings, and um, reflect on life and feel. So yeah, don't put what you didn't get in your childhood onto your children. My opinion is less is more. Then idea number four, love your children for who they are. It sounds so obvious, right? But it isn't. And most of the families I was working with, and I'm still working with, I can see that children don't feel loved. And the parents actually don't feel loved. They didn't feel loved from their parents, you see? So there is actually a link. So when you start to work on your topics, on your childhood issues, you're gonna relieve your children. And also, when you discover that it's not about projecting an ideal image onto your child, maybe an ideal image the society created for children, or the main teacher is creating for your children. So please don't do that. Just discover your children new. And what I mean is, like, be surprised how beautiful, wonderful, light-hearted beings they are, and let yourself get into this playfulness and lightheartedness and yeah, fun. We adults, we take life too serious. And this is leading me to the next point, number 5: create fun learning moments. So create more fun in life in general. As I mentioned before, we miss having fun. And when we don't take time and space for having more fun and laughter, our energy goes down, our joy goes down, and sometimes also our self confidence. Because when we're having fun, we tend to be much more courageous and in love with ourselves and life. And then we are thriving in relationships. We are thriving in our professional jobs because we can present ourselves much better, in a sense, much more natural, much more authentic. And this is very, very attractive in a sense of um, attracting support, attracting people who want to listen to you, attracting more money, attracting a great idea, you know? Okay. And also, um, learning moments, I always thought when I was a child and I went through the old way, the traditional system, and the very boring old learning way, just learn one thing for hours and get bored as and I hated it actually, and it was such a shame because I love to learn. Now I learn every day, because I want to. But as a teenager, I hated it. And it took me so much energy and time, and I was so frustrated. So I think about a boy recently where a mother was sending me a picture after the sessions we had together, and I was empowering them to create more fun learning moments. And she wrote, Manuela, you can't believe it. My boy is standing on his favorite football, writing his homework totally for the first time, concentrating on the homework, having fun, and not giving up, and even listening to an audiobook. And I was like reading this and feeling so much joy in my heart because I could see the joy in the boy's heart, and also I felt the joy of the mother, and it was such a relief, because homework can be so much stress for um, everyone in the family, not only the children, also the parents. So be open, be curious, be creative about it. Okay. Then idea number 6: connect with your kids daily. And when you tell me now, oh, Manuela, of course I'm going to see them every day. What do you mean by connecting? I mean, taking your time at least, or it's enough actually for 15 or 20 minutes or 30 minutes if you like to, or more, but actually it's enough. There are studies that 15 or 20 minutes are enough to be truly present with your kids. And then your kids feels seen, loved, acknowledged, important. And these are necessary things that we all need as a young child and as a growing up child, even as a teenager. So being present means being fully there, not checking your phone, not checking your emails, not staring at a screen at all, not having the TV on. So being fully there with your child and then you can feel them. You can connect to their heart. You can talk from your heart to their heart and asking them if they want to share something with you. And this is so, so, so healing and also strengthening you with your child. And, you know, I think most parents, they don't know how immensely helpful this is, and also encouraging them for their life, you know. So please invest a little time each day and connect truly. Okay, number 7. Read books with your kids. I can already hear you like, oh my God, they're not interested. They just want to do gaming and being on their phone. Well, you know, are you reading books? What I saw from elite schools. So, and also I'm thinking about children of multimillionaires or millionaires. I listened to few interviews and they always tell, and actually, Steve Jobs also did that with his family or children. They didn't allow them to have much time on the screens or on the phone or on the tablet. They were encouraging them and also um, reading with them, discussing books, sharing knowledge from books, getting excited about books. And this is really, it's not a secret anymore, but I think most people don't get it because they don't believe that the mind, the power of the mind could be so much more when you read. And my experience is it's so true. So try it out. Keep reading or read again. Okay, number 8. Open up for other school forms and possibilities. I discovered that many parents don't know that they can search for other school forums, that they can ask for homeschooling, um, that there is even another possibility. Most parents think or believe that if my daughter or son is not going to the regular traditional school here in town, then they're gonna lose friends. They're not gonna have friends at all. They're yesterday I heard from mother in the session. Um, I'm afraid that if I put my sensitive son in another school form, that he's never be able to keep up with school in general after it. And I tell you, I have enough examples. It's not true. You know, for me, mm, my experience is don't adapt your child, your son, your daughter into the regular system, in the one size fits all system. Check, what does my son, my daughter need? And search for a school where your daughter, your son can be happy and thrive, you know. In a system, when they don't fit in a system, it's not good for them. It's not healthy. It's actually damaging them. Okay. So, and I hear from parents that private schools, they cost a lot. And yeah, it's true. In the US, you have a better system than in Europe here. You have like education checks, what I heard, and you can invest the check in a school you choose. And in Europe, we want to have that because here we don't have the choice. Actually, the children have to go to the traditional school, or the parents can send them to a private school and pay all the fees for themselves, which is of course costly. But you know what? Open up and ask other parents, what did they find? Maybe you can share something, and also skip the ego. Ask family members or ask friends or even other persons you like who would like to support you and your child's future if they could um, give you a good loan, a loan, a student loan, you know. So it's really, really worth to open up. Yeah. So as parents, remember you have the power to shape your child's education beyond the walls of a classroom. So I encourage you to advocate for changes in schools and modern learning tools. And as you heard, I want to create a new form of education, a new form of school, and you can help me by subscribing to this channel and also commenting if you would like to hear about a certain topic or if you have a question about it. I really, really want to support you. And I hope this was helpful. Please let me know in the comments. And I'm looking forward to see you again.